Okay, we're going to do a quick video on how to find a quarterback rating. Again, this is another type of weighted sum. Obviously, if we look at a quarterback, the things the quarterback does, if they have completions or touchdowns, interceptions, the yards per attempt, all those things are worth a different amount. Okay? And so if you notice here, it says during one of his games in 2028, Bruce Wayne attempted 53 passes, completing 13 of them with 6 interceptions and scoring 1 touchdown. He ended the game with a total gain of 195 yards. So the first thing we got to do is find each one of these components: the percent completion, the percent touchdowns, percent interceptions, the yards per attempt, and we're going to plug them into our formula, and that'll tell us his quarterback rating. All right, for the percent completions is the number of completions divided by the number of attempts. And then we're going to change that into a percent, so we're going to be multiplying it times 100. Okay? So as far as the completions, it says he has 13 completions divided by the total number of attempts, 53. And again, we're going to multiply this times 100 to get this as a percent, because notice it does want it specifically as a percent. Just like the next two also, the yards per attempt is not a percent. So for example here, 13 divided by 53 times 100 is going to be 24.53, and that's a percent. Now just so you can see how we would type that in, because it is act a little funny on the calculator. If you just do 13 divided by 53 and then multiply it times 100, it gives you this big fraction as an answer. So just be careful. When we type it in, we're going to do 13 divided by 53, then multiply it times 100, but don't forget you have to put a little decimal point after one of the numbers in order for it to give you a decimal number answer. So there's our 24.53. As you can see, I rounded to the nearest hundredths place. Okay, so back over here, 24.53. The percent touchdowns, right? He made 1 touchdown out of a total of 53 attempts. Multiply that times 100. And we'll get 1.89, and that's as a percent. And again, just so you can see it on the calculator, 1 divided by 53 times 100, put a little decimal point after it, and there's our 1.89. Again, it's rounded to the second decimal place. The interceptions, it says he had 6 interceptions, so that's 6 out of 53 times 100. And we'll plug that one into the calculator. 6 divided by 53 times 100. Don't forget your little decimal point. And we get 11.32. There we go. And that is also a percent. Okay? So the first 3 are percents. The last one is not a percent. Okay? Be careful with that one. A lot of students make mistakes there. So the yards per attempt. Yards per attempt is our yards divided by the total number of attempts. So the yards that he had was 195 divided by the total number of attempts, which was still 53. Okay, this one is not a percent, so I'm not multiplying it times 100. Okay, so just 195 divided by 53, put a little decimal point at the end, and there's our 3.68. Again, rounded. 3.68 rounded, and that's yards per attempt. Okay? All right, so now we got each one of the components. Now I can plug them in where they're supposed to be. So notice this one is the percent complete, the percent touchdowns, percent interceptions, yards per attempt. Now in this one, normally I say you don't use a percent in a calculation. However, this one is specifically calling for a percent. Calling for a percent, calling for a percent. So this is one of those few times that you'll actually use a percent in your calculations. So when I plug this in, my quarterback rating is going to be 25 plus 10 times the percent complete was 24.53 plus 40 times the touchdowns percent, which was 1.89, and then minus 50 from the interceptions, which was 11.32. And then plus 50 times the yards per attempt was 3.68. And we're going to divide this whole thing by 12. Now, here's my suggestion when you go to type it in the calculator. I wouldn't suggest typing the whole thing at once. I would suggest typing in the top part first, getting an answer, and then coming back and dividing by 12. So here's what I mean by that. Okay? I'm going to go back over here to the calculator. And our formula would be 25 plus 10 times the percent complete, which is 24.53, plus 40 times the touchdown percentage, which was 1.89, then minus 50 times the interceptions, 11.32, and then plus 50 times the yards per attempt, 3.68. All right, so I've typed in all the, whoops, let's just times 3.68. There we go. Typed in all that top, I'm going to get an answer. Okay, so I got a negative 36.1. Okay, and then we're going to come back and divide that by 12. So his quarterback rating is a negative 3.01. There's his quarterback rating. And that's why Bruce Wayne should not be a quarterback.